Yo, so I got a pretty long one for y'all, man. This one is not for the faint of heart. So what I really recommend is that if you have a particular creator that you want to hear talk, man, please go in the description and find that particular timestamp, man, and so you could just jump to whatever creator you want to hear. So basically what I did was I reached out to every single creator, man, because I was asked a question in the community about why creators are not more critical when it comes to esports biasing clips. Like, why don't we criticize the game, I guess, a little bit more harsh or more critically? You know what I'm saying? So look, I didn't think that was a question for me to answer myself, man. So I literally went out to as many creators, man, as I could really kind of get, who channels really surrounded general ESBC content. And I talked to them all, man. So look, it's a long one, yo. If you can sit through the whole thing, then I applaud you for listening to all of the opinions. They are also they're talking about some of their own criticisms, things like that they currently have about the game, man. There's a lot to actually listen to. There's a lot to take in because everybody has their own opinion. We did not talk to each other beforehand. I literally talked to everybody separately, and I gave them very little information, yo, before we actually sat down and recorded all of this. So look, like I said, if you want to, please jump to your particular creator, man, and listen to what they have to say, or sit through the whole thing, man. But if you do, be ready. Get your soda, get your popcorn, yo, and be ready to sit down and listen to a long one, yo. But again, my comments will be at the end, so let's get to it, man, and let's hear what they got to say. So we've all been asked this question, man, and it's like, why ESBC creators are not more critical of the game itself. And mind you, these are not scripted. As a matter of fact, you just found out what this was about like this morning.
5 minutes ago, I saw the message. So yeah, for starters, as creators, we've all had things to say negative about it. Yes, of course, I will watch Canelo fight and I will watch so-and-so fight and I'll be like, oh, he shouldn't have thrown that. Of course, he'd batter the shit out of me in real life. But when it comes to gameplay, I'm not going to critique it too much. However, we have critiqued the games. I don't sit here and say, I'm so excited that I have to wait another year to play the game or another 6 months. I want the game now. I've been critical that I want a demo. I've been critical of that I believe we should have got a demo with 6 fighters, 2 weight classes, and they should have rolled out a demo. Literally just an open demo, no updates to it, just roll it out in that model. I said that, and I will always be critical that we have had delayed. That is part of gaming. You know, it's one of those things where when you look back at other games, Cyberpunk, for example, I didn't play it, but people waited 7 years for a piece of shit. And I had a feeling in my gut that there was a threshold to a game. And when you wait so long, it's going to be shit no matter what. Cyberpunk was too much. Cyberpunk was, you are this character, however, you have all this open. Every CPU is a real person. They weren't. They were barely fucking CPU. They were just walking into walls and morphing through cars. It was embarrassing. Yeah, never touched it. And I never will. I never will touch that game because it was so awful. However, games that I love, Dying Light, we waited a lot of years for. The comment section, if you go back to the original Dying Light reveals and, you know, kind of where the same stage the ESBC is at, a little snippet of gameplay where people are either saying, this is a scam, this looks awesome, or this is too good to be true. Dying Light was the same. And you get people saying this, back in the day, people saying this game's not coming. It's no, they're asking for too much. However, now it is a game I've played 7 times in a row. I have the platinum on. I'm sure you've played it as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people have played that game. Yeah, it's brilliant. I don't get me wrong. I didn't get it on the release, so I'm sure people go, the release was shit. When I played it, it was fucking awesome. Because sometimes you get shocked with brilliant games if you're not just waiting on its every breath. I mean, don't know about you, but obviously I see you got a PS5 there. You know, you didn't buy that for ESBC. I think people think that's what we do as ESBC creators. People think I bought this setup in my PS5 for ESBC. No, I fucking didn't. February alone has got the creators of Absolver, Sifu's coming out, that martial arts game on like the 7th. Then we've got Dying Light 2. Then we've got Horizon Forbidden West. That's just February. If News for Esports Watch comes out, I'll still cover it. But I don't just play it. I mean, recently, I've played UFC, Fight Night Champion, Vigor. I played that Matrix Awakens with the Unreal Engine 5 thing on the PS5. Incredible. And I made videos on them all. I make videos when I get merch from boxers and YouTubers. I just, you know, my whole life doesn't revolve around that game. But it's the point of why be negative when you can just be positive or neutral. It takes so much energy to be negative about something you know nothing about. Game coding, I can't begin to understand it. I don't know if you know much about it.
Nah.
The only thing I know for sure from talking to people is that when making a game, when you add something new, it pretty much breaks the whole game. And you need to fix the game with that new thing in, and that's it every time.
I think there is a perception that we get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like we're defending the game, and like that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? It's not at all. You know, like our opinion literally are all our own. Like we're not connected.
Yeah, no, we don't defend the game. We just don't nitpick it. That's the big difference. That's it. We don't defend it. I have never made a video defending it unless it was about the early access thing when everyone thought it was cancelled. I said, listen, I still think it's going to be an early access. I'll die on that mountain until I'm wrong, until I'm right, whichever it may be. But I've never defended the game.
Yeah, man. I think that's the point to make right there, and I'll probably end that here, man. Is that you heard it from Studdy. It's not that we're defending the game, it's that we're just not nitpicking, man. Studdy, appreciate you, yo.
Okay, man, I hear you. Firstly, for me, I think overly it's quite difficult to be critical of something we haven't seen the full picture of. We've not seen all of it in its glory yet. So ESB have currently shown us snippets. The snippets are usually the best version, the best knockout. It's going to be the best highlights, what we're watching right now. So it's hard to be really critical of something that looks really good, like so impressive.
Montage, basically.
Yeah, it's a montage of the best clips that they've managed to get from a game that they've played. So how can you criticize that? It's quite difficult. If we're talking release date, of course, like everyone, I'm a fan. You're a fan. A lot of the content creators you're going to be listening to are fans. We want the game out tomorrow. Of course we want the game.
I'll take it right now.
I'll take it now. Take it tomorrow. You know what I mean? But if it ain't right, it ain't right. If it's not ready, it's not ready. So answer this question. What do you prefer? The game not finished and buggy, or do you want it prepped, ready, looking as good as always? It's up to you. For me, I'd rather them do this. Wait 6 months, wait another 6 months if you've got to. But if the game's done, it's done. And then bring it to me. And finally, the good outweigh the bad. Just overall, I mean, we've had small criticisms, especially on my channel. I've criticized Roy Jones Jr. When we saw him in the last video, I looked at the shorts and I thought that they looked a bit leathery. It reminded me of, remember Blade? His coat?
Yeah.
It had that same material.
Extra heavy.
It looked heavy, man. It looked like he's gonna weigh him down, man. It looked like heavy shorts, bro. But it's little things like that, or the marketing side of things where, you know, we've had likes of Caleb Plant and Canelo who are announced in the game, and we haven't had anything from them, from ESBC or from SCI, to say, look, man, this fight's happening and look what we've done. These are the renders, or here's a trailer, or here's anything. We haven't had that. And I think for me, it's a missed opportunity. You've got one of the biggest fights of the year happening with the biggest fighter of the year. Why aren't we pushing this? Like, we've got both the guys on the game. My criticism stems from things outside of gameplay, because you can't really criticize something you've not seen in its entirety yet.
So I think that is fair, right? And I think that's kind of like the key to this particular conversation, right? Is that criticism is fair. Man, appreciate you again, dog.
Well, for me, myself, yes, I definitely feel like I'm critical enough. I got a comment. I think it was in regards to like some of the punches in the last gameplay trailer. At that time, I'm just like, bro, you're not watching, you know, any videos, because there's other creators that have said, yeah, I'm not liking the punches in this one. The punches in the last one look better. So it's like you're kind of picking and choosing what you want to hear. Another thing to go to my case, you know, talking to the devs, one of the first things that they told me is, we appreciate your criticism. And that surprised me, because like going into that whole just meet up with them, I didn't know what to expect. So thank you for your criticism on the game being like really one of the first things that they said was like shocking to me. It's like, wow, okay, well, I thought, you know, because I'm hearing, hey, Juice, the devs don't like that you're saying this and yada yada. I'm just like, bro, I'm just saying my opinion, right? And even with the Roy Jones, I liked pretty much everything that had to do with the gameplay itself, but me nitpicking, I'm like, this is Roy Jones. I want him to be matching from head to toe. So them throwing them old, you know, black 3-stripe boots, yeah, on him, like I was just kind of like, nah, that ain't Roy. Change that up. But like at the beginning of this whole process too, I didn't want to go too hard on the game because at that point, right, we were getting something completely different than what we're getting now. So once the, I guess, bar raised, then I started to be more critical. So maybe early on, yeah, I probably wasn't too critical. I think I had said the hooks in like one of the first trailers with like Gotti and Ward looked fine, right? Because that's just what I was expecting. That's the level I was expecting. But now if they were to have those hooks in release, I'm gonna be like, okay, these hooks don't look good. I'm not gonna not play the game because of that. I'm not going to, you know, bash the game over it. Let's be honest, Fight Night's not perfect, right? It's just that we've gotten over all the flaws and we're playing the game as it is, just how it should be for ESBC. And that's what a lot of the creators are saying too. Yeah, it's not perfect, but there's more good than bad from what we've seen. I just don't get it. A lot of people are being too critical of the game to the point where it's like, bro, are you sure you want this game to come out? Like, are you sure, you know, you are wishing the best for ESBC? Because that Fight Night email, article, leak, whatever, just had people through the roof. And it's just like, wow.
Well, you got it there from King Juice. In his words, we're spoiled. It's the dev's fault. All right. It is what it is. Yo, appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I know me personally, I'm very critical. If you go watch that Michaela Mayer video, oh boy, yeah, that was bad. It got so bad in that video, man. People had to come and be like, all right, Jay, like, damn, calm down, you know? In my opinion, the community is pretty critical as it is, but I feel like that's the kind of energy that I'm getting from them, from, you know, the devs and then the hierarchy people and in SCI. I feel like they want that criticism. And in my opinion, from everyone that I've seen, Juice has been critical, you've been critical, Reece has been critical, I've been critical, Presi's been critical, Fanatico's been critical, Studdy's been critical, fuck, Dot's been critical, every Poe's been critical, like everyone straight across the board. Yes, they've had a lot of great things to say about the game, but we all have our different, you know, critiques of the game, whether it be the punch animations, you know, career mode, other modes, things like that. We all have certain critiques. We go in depth on them, make our video, and then that's that. My opinion, my critiques with the game is, at first I was like, yeah, I'm down for, you know, them not giving us any news, but I was like, damn, cold turkey though? Like we ain't get nothing? I'm not on, I wouldn't say I'm on board for it, but I understand that one. The punch animations, obviously, I am not a big fan of those at all. I really don't like the punch animations. I feel like they could be a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. And for the game that they're going for, you got Sonny Edwards, you know, helping them out with the game. He's in studio playing it. You got Joe Joyce and all these guys. So there should be no way possible that any of these punches should be wonky, clunky, anything like that. Another thing that I had a big problem with, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be rectified, it was like, it is really not more of a critique, it's more of a question and a critique. Is there gonna be like left hand, right hand power? Like, I don't like it. Is that gonna be in there? I really want that, because if you're switching stances, for instance, Deontay Wilder, his left hand, it's not gonna be as strong as his right hand. So if he goes into southpaw and he's trying to throw a left overhand, that's not gonna be as strong as him throwing the right overhand. You know, so where was that? I didn't see when they displayed that career mode stuff, and it was showing like all the different stats and things like that. I specifically asked that question. I made a whole video on it. I was like, where's left hand, right hand power? Where's stam? Where's this? Where's that? So I want to know all the stats and everything. For two, I was very critical of fighter announcements. In my opinion, unless it's someone big like a Canelo, I don't want any fight. I don't care. I'm not gonna say I don't care, but it's like it. At this point, I just want to see gameplay. I don't care about what fighters, because now y'all can get anyone in the game. So it's kind of like it's uninteresting to me at this point. And you know, at this point of ESBC's career. And then one of my last ones, and it's really not, it's kind of a nitpick. Some people have a problem with it, some people don't. Are the camera angles. You know, what we seen from the screenshots, I think it was Joe Frazier. I did not like that camera angle whatsoever. I don't like close up. That's not me. I like to see the whole field of view and everything. I know a lot of other players have that, you know, same preference. So I kind of hope we can like change camera angles and things like that. I hope we're not just stuck on that one camera angle. I'm pretty sure we're not. And the other nitpick, I hope we can play on a PS5 controller, because I'm really not trying to play on an Xbox controller. That's the only thing. I'm really not trying to play on
So, yo, Jay, appreciate you for hopping on, B.
No problem, man. See y'all later, man.
In terms of me personally, I could be more critical. I feel like I'm on kind of the bandwagon, the choo-choo train when it comes to the ESBC hype personally, but that's because I've had the pleasure to speak to developers and get, some inside kind of knowledge on their mindset of the game and what they're trying to produce from the actual product itself. With that being said, there was a time when I was critical with regards to like the updates and trying to get a release date and a straightforward answer with the release date. However, things need to be made in good time, so I had to come to an understanding. Right, take their time. Whenever the game's ready, these guys know when they're going to drop it. With regards to yourselves, content creators in the community, I mean, from what I've watched in the videos, going as far back as the punching animations back a long time ago, I thought everyone was bang onto them being critical about the animations, the gameplay footage, people saying didn't look as sharp as it should be, and the punches didn't flow. I think you guys have been pretty critical with that regards, and even when ESBC went a bit quiet and they said they was going to stop the updates and things like that. So could I be a bit more critical? Yeah, but at the same time with good reason that I'm not, because like I said, I've spoken to them. These lot are well aware of where they're at and what they're going to release and when, and in good time as well. They're not looking to release anything that isn't 100% ready to be released. With regards to you guys, the other content creators in the community themselves, I think you lot have been pretty damn critical from the get-go, if you ask me.
Thank you again for, taking the time, jumping on here and addressing the community as a whole, man. Appreciate you, yo.
Appreciate you for having us on.
Well, I think that we've been critical of ESBC. It's like you're only your last performance or whatever. Like, people
It's
really,
boxing.
yeah, that's boxing. They only judge you by your last performance. So the Spanish content creators are basically criticizing the video with Roy Jones. But when I'm listening to what they're saying things like, oh, we haven't gotten a release date yet, or the last thing that they ever said was 2021, and it's about to get out of 2021, so we can't let them slide with that. And the new thing they put out on SGO didn't show a release date, so what's going on? So to me, it's like, I feel like people need to temper their expectations a little bit more and understand that like something on SGO is not going to be huge. We have to wait for something to come out of ESBC. Now, I'm hoping that something comes this month, but if it doesn't, I mean, it's up to them to decide when they're going to show us whatever they want to show us and when it's ready, because they know that they get criticized a lot. But when it comes to your question about criticism, I've criticized them so many times. Yeah. I remember there was times when they did the Fighter Announcement Show 3, where my own, like, I think I was losing subscribers or something during that time because my own audience and my own viewers were like, oh, you went rogue. You don't even care about ESBC no more. That's literally what they were saying. Yeah, bro. That's literally what they were saying when I was like, yo, Fighter Announcement Show 3 was incredibly underwhelming. I made a whole video about how it's underwhelming, and like they said that wasn't going to be, because they were hyping that up to be the best Fighter Announcement Show ever. And it's like, no. Fighter Announcement Show 1 with Terrence Crawford and Caleb Plant as a start off, and then Fighter Announcement Show 2 with Lomachenko as a start off. And then you're going to tell me that a Legends reveal show, which is essentially what that was a Legends reveal show.
That was the one with Ali at the end.
That was the one with Ali at the end. Had Riddick Bowe, Sugar Ray Leonard. Like they said, oh, this the biggest one. It's like, nah, bro. That to me, I felt that was ESBC being like misleading, and they didn't really have much on that Fighter Announcement Show. Now, after that, they've had Canelo and stuff like that, and I've been hyped. In January, I also criticized them because they didn't do what they did now, where they told us no more like information and we're gonna just release things when it's ready. They just didn't say anything for a long time. So I was like, yo, this, a little dip. Yeah, we went through a little dip, like January timeframe. And then I was like, yo, this is not good, because they need to inform people and they need to let people know and stuff like that. So I criticized them then there too. And even the punches. the infamous punches that everybody criticizes them on.
Of course.
I've criticized the punches, and I still to this day say the punches aren't where they're supposed to be, where they should be from the last thing that we saw, but they definitely are improving. Let's not pretend like, you know, it looked like the Alpha Movement trailer punches, because they don't, you know, they look more improved. So yeah, we do criticize them, but I'm not going to create fake criticism. People want me to do like, oh, just pretend like Roy Jones was a copy and paste of Lyndon Arthur when he clearly wasn't. So then they get mad at me. The thing that I think is hilarious is that when I prove it, they get mad that I proved it. It's like, so what's your real agenda? Is your agenda really that you want me to criticize them? Or do you secretly just want ESBC to fail? And then because you secretly want it to fail for whatever reason, maybe you're a Fight Night Champion player, and then you want to make sure that Fight Night Champion 2 is the thing that comes out and everybody likes. You don't want people to leave like the small user base that they have for Fight Night Champion 1 right now. You don't want them to leave to ESBC. So there's a threat there that you feel. I don't know what the agenda is, but don't get mad at me because I'm like, yo, boom, here's the proof. It's like, man, yo, you showing us proof. You suck, man. You suck. You really like ESBC. Like, yo, that's crazy. Think of the cognitive dissonance that you must have when I show you that it's wrong, that narrative is wrong, that you're gonna be like, oh, that's because I like ESBC. Maybe you should like introspectively look at yourself and say, maybe I hate ESBC too much, that I'm getting mad at somebody showing a side-by-side proving that narrative is wrong. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna fake critique them to pretend that I'm real. You know, I'm gonna be real by being the excitement that I actually have for the game, and being honest when I see something like the Fighter Showcase 3 that I didn't like, the lack of communication during January that I didn't like, the punches that I don't necessarily like, but they are being improved. I like them a little bit, but I feel that they can improve them. On real things, I'm going to critique them. On made up stuff, just so I could pretend that, oh, I'm this real dude because I'm always negative. Nah, I'm not doing that. And I think that a lot of people do that because when you turn the narrative, you get that viewership, you know, you get that like it's like, oh wait, this is a different perspective. Oh my God. And he must be real because he's saying negative stuff about it. And whenever you're negative, you're real. And when you're positive, you're fake. Like there's just some mentality that people have. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. That's how I feel. I'm going to say things. If it's positive, it's positive. If it's negative, but I'm going to say my truth always. And I'm a type of person that you might get a video from me if you are lying about something, to just create a different narrative. Like you see me
clearly,
do it.
We know the flicker jab situation.
The flicker jab gate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type of dude that I would make a video. And I think that people got upset at my video because it was breaking down a lot of these negative narratives that people maybe secretly just wanted it to continue floating out there without anybody disproving it. So.
Personally, do you save certain criticism in fear of backlash from the developers or potential missed opportunities or things like that? Or do you just say, look, man, I'm gonna just say it. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't save no criticism. If there's something to criticize them on, I'm going to do it because they've been very clear. Like there is no fear to me coming from Steel City Interact, because even in the Discord, they're like, oh, even when there was that back and forth with Marshall Mind that I had when I was making that flicker jab video, they were like, yo, both videos are good. Marshall Mind's video saying that the punches is trash and everything's bad or whatever, and we got to work on it. That's good too, because we want all like criticism, all information, everything y'all feel. We want that feelings. We want to know what y'all feel so we could work on what needs to be worked on. So they've made it very clear that there's no blacklisting coming from their direction. Like they want all criticism. If there's a criticism, they want it. So in terms of having fear that they will feel a certain type of way, no. Because I'm never going to give like, don't buy the game. Like I'm never going to do that, right? For example, if they have bad punches, I'm just going to be like, yo, I need to improve your punches. If they have a trailer that's not that cool, like it's kind of whack, I'll be like, yo, that trailer is kind of whack. None of that is going to kill ESBC. You know what I mean? So I think that in terms of me saying something against Steel City Interactive in with criticism, there's no fear from that direction. Now, from my audience, it's a different story. There are audience members of mine that they only want me to say positive things about it. Yeah. And there's a small percentage that want me to only say negative things whenever something comes out, because to them, no matter what comes out, they're just ready to say a negative thing and they want me to echo that sentiment. I don't know why people think that I would even want to be on a Steel City Interactive payroll, because then I cannot be a content creator for their game, because there'll be a conflict of interest. The moment I work for them, unless it's going to be like basically a running ad every time I make a video, like why would I want to actually work for Steel City Interactive? I won't have the freedom of creating my videos, creating like the content that I want to create, and not worrying about what I say or what I do, and not being a walking ad for ESBC, because I don't want to do that. When Fight Night Champion 2 come out, I want to talk about Fight Night Champions 2, if that's a thing. You know, I want to be able to say, this is good. I like what I see. This is nice. Can it be better than ESBC? Oh, look at this trailer. That was a good trailer. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I can't talk about that. I can only talk about Steel City Interactive and ESBC because I'm signed and I work for them. I don't want to be signed to Steel City Interactive because I want that creative freedom. That's important to me. So I don't know why people think I do, or I am, or I secretly am, or whatever, but I'm 100% not signed with them, or even had talks with them to be signed and work with them or anything like that.
If nothing else, I want y'all to understand this. We literally have been, each content creator has literally been working for you all to make sure and to help as much as we can to get the best boxing experience that we could imagine, man. It's been 11 years, dude, 11 years since we had one. We want one just as much as y'all want one. And from what you've already heard, there's not a single creator, that is looking to benefit in some way off of the game outside of just getting a good game, man. You know what I'm saying? And if this whole thing was meant for nothing else, it was meant to say, join the damn Discord. If you got a problem with something, join the damn Discord and talk to the developers yourself, all right? Because they're there all the time, talking straight to the Discord community, all right? I will also have the Discord link down in the comment section. That is all I got, man. Like I tell y'all every time, appreciate y'all for coming back to the Coach's Corner, man, and I will catch y'all on the next one, yo. Peace out.